In the year 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted, burying Pompeii in ash. For centuries, the city was forgotten until archaeologists uncovered it, perfectly preserved, like a memory in time. And that is exactly how a great flashback should feel. Not a blurry, confusing jump, but a vivid moment, unearthed at just the right time. Let's talk about how to do that in your writing. There should always be proof of what you're about to tell in your flashback. What I mean by that is you need to breadcrumb your way to make sure that this flashback doesn't just come out of nowhere. Prove to your audience you were planning the story out in advance. But I didn't plan this flashback in advance, you say. Well, let me layer out a scenario for you real quick. What makes more sense? Someone writing something from start to finish, completely chronologically, or someone fleshing out their idea, breadcrumbing the details out throughout it, and wrapping it up in a tight bow. Flashbacks should help you learn more about a character in a scenario that it is most useful. Having someone die and then 5 years later them grieving about it does not have the same effect as someone remembering their friend dying. The gloriousness of flashbacks is you do not have to put them in chronologically ever. So what you should be doing is you should be strategizing and putting it in the most thematic area possible. George Lucas's famous quote, "It's like poetry, it rhymes," only enhances as two events that are not chronological are right next to each other. One important thing to mention:
do not overdo it.
the poetry in flashbacks is in theming. There has to be a reason other than just plot. Sure, you can use flashbacks as a band-aid for your story, but people are gonna notice that. Stories are great because you can get lost in them like a new reality. So if you're using flashbacks, make it a reality. People that were stabbed have a scar. Maybe you should show up before the flashback kicks in. But another difficult part in flashbacks is transitioning it. How do you go from now to then? Well, what I like to do is literary cinematography. Basically, I'll set up a scene in my head where I'm looking at as the camera, and I will line up how a character goes from where they are into the flashback. Now I like to do that where they're doing an action now and they were also doing that action in the flashback, so it's seamless in the scene. It goes from them swinging their arm now and they were swinging their arm in the flashback. This works well because as a character, in your perspective, if you were remembering something, you have to be remembering it for a reason. So say that action, swinging your arm, was the reason you started to remember what you're remembering. Another reason it works well is it doesn't confuse the audience too much. If you jump from one setting to another and the character's doing nothing related to what they were just doing, people can kind of get confused. But if their action is still similar, it's an easier transition to get into this new scene of what you're thinking about. The past is powerful. You can change your entire plot with just one flashback. So make sure it's crystal clear, transitions well, and collides with the theme of your writing.
Oh, fuck.